Good morning, my Abbey are back. Here's the plan. A lot more focus again today on the outside of the house. That may include pouring the roof slab over the new bathroom. It will definitely include more tiling and more work on the plumbing. And that plumbing actually has an element that I didn't appreciate. I'll tell you about that in a moment. Not sure whether the modular kitchen guys are going to be back. Most likely I think they will. Inside the house there's going to be, again, of course, more painting. Not sure what else they'll be up to inside today. Possibly go what could wrong. A quick apology. Yesterday, all sorts of audio problems. You saw it included audio cutting out mid-section. It included several sections that I had to completely dump because they were inaudible. Really not sure whether it was just this dummy that hadn't properly pushed in all the connections or if it was something else going on. We'll find out later today whether it was me or the equipment or both. So, apologies for that. At the gazebo, more rendering of walls, or plastering if you prefer. Much earlier in this build series, when they were doing the house, there was a long debate about rendering versus plastering. In the end I gave up and kind of used both now. I'm not reopening that debate. Rendering and plastering on this series, it's the same thing, and I might use them interchangeably. We also have that hole knocked completely through the wall for electrical connections, and there are other bits of electrical that Bappa Jess, our on-site electrician, has been working on, dotted around the place. Still some more plumbing to be done. The pipe laying that was going on yesterday, it now turns out, was not just to do with plumbing for the new outside bathroom. Dotted around the pool, we will have 4 of these, and their function is an overflow system for the pool, which remarkably we don't have at the moment. This pool is pretty full, and there has been no mechanism other than backwashing through the pump. There's been no mechanism for releasing that water. There will be by the time they've got the overflow system in, which will mean punching holes into the pool at some point, I assume. We'll have to see how that progresses. The tiles around the pool, they do now extend with installed tiles very close to the waterfall. But what you'll probably be able to make out is that the outside edge in most of the way around is still not following exactly the nice curved shape of the pool. Frederick has been working on that already a little bit this morning in a couple of areas. So even though these tiles are in, there is a lot more work still to be done to tidy it all up. I've just had an update from the engineer who said, based on conversations with the tilers, with the foreman, the completion of these tiles around the pool, bear in mind today is Wednesday, if the guys work all through the weekend, including on Sunday, they will finish on Sunday. That'll be very good going. Once again, here's something that you really shouldn't try for yourselves unless you are a very competent electrician. Testing power supply. The modular cabinet guys from Seabug. Haven't seen them yet this morning, but that doesn't surprise me. A lot of these subcontractors don't come in for the 7 a.m. start that the regular crew does. But yesterday, they did get most of the under-counter cabinets in. They are definitely not finished. There's adjustments to make. There's all sorts of edges that are not really flush. There's a lot to be done here. But they did get most of these cabinets in place. And that includes over in the far corner and down here. Still a lot of work to be done before these are anywhere close to being finished. And then they've got to do all the cabinets that are above counters. I'm not sure those have even been fabricated yet. Another conversation with the engineer this morning has confirmed that wherever this nice bright white paint is now done on the outside of the house, none of it anywhere is the finished coat. This is still just primer paint. So we have had the conversation just to reconfirm once again that the finished colour on this all the way around will not be white. It'll be a slight cream colour. That doesn't cause them any problems. They can select that finishing coat really at any point, providing they've only got as far as primer paint before that. So all of this isn't going to be white. It'll be cream with all the various highlight features that will be dotted around the place. Something new this morning. Richard is getting to work on these. The skirting boards, baseboards if you prefer. We're in the master bedroom and this is the first room that will have those baseboards. So there will be some treatment prior to installation, particularly for the selenium, the anti-termite material, but quite a bit of finishing will actually be done after they're installed, which seems a little odd to me, but who am I to question? I did show this yesterday, but the light was beginning to fade and I'm not sure how clearly it came out on whatever device you were watching on. So maybe this is a little clearer, that it is now a dark brown instead of a grey, and pretty closely matches the PVC panels in the ceiling. With so many of the crew outside, we've only really got a couple of guys inside the house, apart from Richard doing those skirting boards, and they're just painters. No, that's unfair. I didn't mean to say just painters. They are painters. So we've got Ernie over there, and behind me, Herwin, both working on finishing the walls, or getting closer to having finished walls in the hallway upstairs. Apart from that, there is only, I believe, our electrician, Jess, doing electrical bits and pieces around the place. They are the only people working inside the house right now. It's just after lunch. We'll go and see what the chaps have been up to. Before we do, little request, if you don't mind, stick a like on this video for me. It really does help. And if you've got this far and you haven't subscribed yet, and this isn't your first rodeo with Philippines 4.0, would you consider subscribing? That helps out a lot as well. Don't forget, you don't have to actually like these videos. Oh no, we set the bar way lower than that. If they don't make you violently ill, that's enough. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Well, don't hit them. I've said that before. Makes no sense. Caress the like and the subscribe button for me. It would be massively appreciated. Right, let's see what's been happening. Tiles now extend all the way to the bridge. They're certainly not all set in adhesive yet. There's a lot of them still need to be properly positioned, but the general pattern has been laid out. Very good progress. And just over there, the concrete mixer has just been fired up. Pretty sure I know what that means, but we're going to take a look. Before we go and take a look at that concrete being poured somewhere, guys have laid out a lot of the skirting boards, the baseboards. There's some here, take a dizzy pill, and a lot more waiting over here. Looks like they're starting to put that selenium on, or are preparing to put the selenium on as an anti-termite measure before this lot gets installed, and that makes complete sense. It should be done on both sides. The upstairs hallway Looks more and more like an obstacle course every time I come up here. But we'll make it through. We have a posse of people mixing up the concrete down there. It's a little hard to tell, but I'm pretty sure we've got Erwin and Elson, and I think Richard has come away from skirting board duties, and I think we've got Singing Rico, and we've also got in the mix Carlito. And a few minutes ago, up on the roof, we had original Rico. He's now just poked his head down inside for something, and our engineer. They are getting ready to pour the concrete for that roof. Even with my rickety old eyes, I can just about make out that they do have the rebar tied in. They do have conduit for electrical connections, and they do have some spacers underneath relevant points in the rebar, which is just there to make sure that the rebar does get fully encased in concrete and none of it's dipping down and touching anything below or potentially poking out the bottom of the concrete. So they're ready to go. I should be right back with the first pour. So we now have up top Elson and original Rico, and here's the first bucket. In it goes. Both Elson and Rico are going to have to be washing their footwear later on today. They're not wearing boots. In fact, Richard's just gone up to join them, and nor is he. They're all going to have dirty socks. But probably the smallest slab pour that we've had, or will have, is underway. At the top of the stairs. Does the skim coating on this build never end? Ernie's back on skim coating duty again. Just around this curb for where the glass banister will be. And just around the corner, Erwin, actually just doing a little bit of tidy up at the moment. And to my left, inside Aldrian's room, Papa Jess, once again, working on light fixtures. Just the little pin lights, code lights, mini spotlights. Still no sign of our modular cabinet guys today. I'm guessing, given that they haven't arrived by now, we're probably not going to see them today. It's 4:30, the end of the workday. The crew are out, no overtime tonight. Before we take a look around, another contribution from Megawegger, who says, why do candles always go on the top of cakes? Because it's hard to light them from the bottom. Let's see what's been going on. Here at the gazebo, not a great deal more was done today. A little bit more rendering on the far wall in front of us. That's about it. We did have one delivery though. We've got these metal bars, which I can only assume will be used as trusses for the roof. Watch this space. Tiles are now fixed round past the waterfall, just a little bit past. And then we've got a pattern going a little bit beyond that, but nothing fixed in place. Still quite a lot to go. I'm not sure we're still quite at 50% of fixed tiles, and then all the edges still to be dealt with. No cabinet guys today. No granite guys. We haven't seen them for quite a while. I guess they're still waiting for the correct granite for upstairs. No glass guys. They haven't been back for quite some time either. I would imagine though they're still on hold until the areas around the stairs are more complete, and then they can fit glass in the remaining inside areas. The roof slab is complete on the outside bathroom. So just in case I've not mentioned it before, starting at this end is going to be where the WC is. Then there is a section where there'll be a wash basin, and where you can see a hole in the roof, that's where the shower will be, open to the elements, at least partly. In the master bedroom, where Richard this morning was getting set up to do skirting boards, nothing. He got called away pretty early on to help deal with the roof on that bathroom outside. So I think as far as he got was just a little bit of measuring. That was it. Here again are some of those skirting boards, baseboards, and they have had some selignum applied to them. I can smell it. In case you haven't seen it before, this is what we're talking about. So this is designed to try and prevent, as it says, prevent attack by termites, wood borers and decay fungi. That's what it says. So that's what we're trying to use on wood throughout the house, just to try and slow those pesky termites down a little bit. That is the end of the day. There was, of course, more going on. More paint on the outside of the house, more paint on the inside of the house, more electrical work with a few more light fixtures going in. And here, where you can see these orange pipes sticking out the ground, just a bit more preparation ahead of putting in an overflow system to the pool. But that's it. No huge things today. I suppose the roof being poured on the outside bathroom is pretty big. Not sure it qualifies as huge, but that's it. We'll see if there's something huger tomorrow. Come back and see us.